I am so overwhelmed with my stuff. I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna phone a friend. Lauren, can you come over, please? I need you right away. Thank you. I'll see you in a minute.
So hi, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Teresa. This is fun. Sure. So my name's Lauren Haas. I am a certified professional organizer, and my business is called Clutter Kicker. I go into people's homes and help them take back control of their space. So I specialize in residential organizing. And so when somebody calls and says, I want to get organized, I kind of stop them and backtrack. So the first step to getting organized is to declutter. So if you came and you said, I want to organize my kitchen, sure, we can put the forks with the forks and the baking stuff all together. But first we want to go through your kitchen and say, okay, what are we using? What do we need in this kitchen? And what don't we use or need? So if there's something that you haven't used in years, or someone recently said this to me, like a single-use appliance. Like I did once try an avocado gadget. I was like, oh, that seems so cool. It's stupid. I have a spoon, I have a knife, it does the same thing. So what extra gadgets do you have in your kitchen that you really don't need, that you were convinced would make your life better, but they really don't, or you have so many platters and you really don't entertain very much anymore. So the first step is decluttering, and then the second step is organizing. So when I come into someone's home, the first thing we do, like yesterday, I was in a closet all day, and we emptied every single thing from that woman's closet, like everything. We make a huge mess and we pile everything, and then we decide, like, what are you keeping and what are you not keeping? My 3 basic questions are, do you love it, do you use it, or do you need it? So if you can say yes to one of those questions, you keep it. I don't make anybody get rid of anything. So even if you say no to all 3 and you say, but I'm keeping it anyway, it's your stuff. This is a completely non-judgmental process. But the first thing we do is we go through everything. We decide what is staying, what is not staying. The things that are not staying, some decisions are super easy, right? Like, that doesn't fit me anymore. I'll never wear it again. Mm-hmm. It's broken, it's stained, I hate it, yada, yada, yada. Those things are easy. The harder decisions are the ones that are more sentimental, right? Like, it was given to me by someone who's no longer here, or it used to be really special to me, or oh, I always meant to start knitting, so I have to keep all my knitting stuff, or whatever those reasons are that we keep things. That's where we ask you questions to kind of help you part with things, because people have a very strong attachment, even though it's just stuff. We have an attachment to it, and we're very good as a society of bringing things in. We're not as good at saying goodbye to things. You come home with 4 new sweaters. Do you say goodbye to 4 old sweaters? That's theoretically what should happen. And if you don't, that stuff's just going to keep piling up and piling up. First, we declutter. I take all the donations with me. So anything that we've decided we're not keeping, I take with me, so you don't have to do it. And then we're left with the organizational stage. So that's the part where we decide, okay, what's going back where, and how do you live your life, and what works for you, which may be different than what works for somebody else. Well, we'll definitely zone things. We'll definitely keep like with like. Right? There's a book, I think it's like, you never lose your toothbrush, right? Your toothbrush is always next to the sink. We'll create zones based on, whether it's clothing or kitchen items, or your basement storage area, or your guest room, or your garage, whatever the space may be. But everything will be different for everyone. So if you use something bizarre in your kitchen that nobody else does, that's fine. Let's keep it in your kitchen, even if it's, rogue. But we bend the rules where we need to. It's 99% mental. So originally, before we started recording, you said, what surprised you? I was a psychology major undergrad. I loved psychology, didn't want to become a psychologist, but loved it. And what I found when I started doing this, first it was about like moving things around and making a space orderly, but it quickly turned into more so psychology. So studies show that actually women more than men, our stuff affects our mental health. So without going into the details of a study, women in cluttered spaces, when they're showing people around those spaces, their cortisol level goes up, and it stays up throughout the day. So the cortisol level is like the fight or flight hormone. And so you are basically affected mentally by what is going on around you. So even though it's just stuff, if your kitchen is less cluttered, you'll eat healthier. If your bedroom is less cluttered, you'll sleep better. If there's less stuff when you walk into your home, you'll walk in with that, I'm home, rather than, get me out of my house. So that feeling when you walk into a cluttered space, it just affects you. So that anxiety, that stress, that feeling of overwhelm, it's my favorite part. It's my favorite part, helping people kind of take back control, there's space to move around and they're happier. The first blog post I ever wrote was like all the reasons to declutter, and it was basically smiley faces. Like, it just makes you happier. I'm even happier in your space when your space is decluttered. So I love working with my clients because when they're done, I'm like, this is the best. I don't even live here and I'm so happy for you. So that's really, it's all mental health. Absolutely. Like, I just remember that woman saying it was her basement, and she's like, I can't believe in 4 hours you did what's stressing me out for 4 years that I haven't taken care of. So absolutely. Like, I mean, it's the old thing, like, why don't you do it before you move? But yes, like, why wait? I say to clients who call me, you're being vulnerable, which I appreciate, and that this is a form of self-care. So absolutely, it's a great way to take care of yourself, to hire somebody. It's like a treat. In 4 hours, I can't help you lose 20 pounds in 4 hours. Maybe it's like a good haircut where in like a period of time you feel great at the end. There's maintenance. So I usually say, just like losing weight, you might gain back a few pounds, but you can get back on track if you have your tools. It's the same thing with organizing. It's a muscle. We talked about that. It's a muscle that you exercise. It's a skill that you build. It's a skill that you teach your kids, right? It's not just something people are born with. There's just so many good things that come out of this.
Do you have maybe some quick little things we can do and that'll kickstart our clutter?
Sure. So first of all, don't bite off more than you can chew. Right? So you're not going to go, oh, I'm so inspired, I want to go home and get my whole house organized. That is not going to happen, right? But you can start with one drawer or one shelf or one cabinet or just your car or just your refrigerator. Start really small. You're going to take everything out. So if you open, let's say, the junk drawer in the kitchen, your tendency might be to like kind of pick out the things that you don't use or you don't really need there. But I would encourage you to take a flat surface, empty the whole junk drawer onto your cabinet, onto your countertop, and then sort everything and decide what you're keeping. I just published a blog on 6 afternoon projects you can do on a cold winter day. One of them is you can go through your makeup and just kind of throw away any makeup that's really, really old or smells bad or just doesn't feel right. You can get rid of your your single socks, right? All the singletons. So that's another project you can do now. Oh, linen closet. I did my linen closet the other day. Just take all those towels and sheets out and see what matches. Ideally, label. Label is like the secret. You want everything to have a home, and you want your home to be labeled. So even if it feels obvious to you, like, why isn't my family putting the twin sheets back where the twin sheets go? Well, if the twin sheets don't have a home and it doesn't say twin sheets, how is your family supposed to know that that's where it goes? So you definitely want everything to have a home, and you want that home to be labeled. I mean, I use masking tape and a Sharpie sometimes. It can be a white piece of paper and a Sharpie. Exactly. You definitely do not need a label maker to label things. You can print something on your printer. I mean, I love my label maker. I love my label maker, but I don't think everybody needs one in order to label. So it depends, of course, on the space. You don't want to be the person who goes to Home Goods and goes into the bin and basket aisle and says, oh my God, those are so pretty. I'm so messy. I'm going to go buy a whole bunch of bins. You want to go through the decluttering process first and see what's left. In terms of clear versus not clear bins and baskets, it depends on if you're a stuff out person or a stuff away person. So stuff out people need to see everything. If you have any ADHD diagnoses, you probably are familiar with someone. If they can't see it, it's not there. So stuff out people want things on shelves. They want them organized, but they want to be able to see them. They want clear bins, etc. Stuff away people don't want to see things. They want things behind cabinets, maybe non-see-through bins. I happen to like clear bins for things that look nice in a clear space, or if you're a stuff out person. And I usually use like baskets or something you can't see through. If it's, well labeled, like your crayons might go in a opaque bin, but your medicine might go in like a clear kind of thing so you can pick out the cold medicine from the cough medicine. So it really depends on what the item is, what your space is, and what your preference is for what you're storing and how you want to be able to see it.
Great. That makes sense.
Yeah. Did you want to go through the process first and say, okay, I have 6 paint brushes, so they only need something really small. Today, actually, my snow day project was my sock drawer. I had like a big thing for dress socks and a little one for like exercise socks, but I realized that the exercise socks were exploding and I don't really wear dress socks. Yeah. So literally this morning I switched them, and now, very exciting, I know for most people, but for me it was really exciting.
That does
all my exercise socks are in the bigger one and the dress socks are in the smaller one. So it depends.
So you even do your own maintenance?
To me, organizing is like therapy. Like, I just love doing it. It relaxes me. A small project. It's kind of a form of procrastination. Like I have a lot of things on my snow day to-do list today, but I can't say that I got to most of them, but I did do my sock drawer this morning. Small little project.
Thank you for staying to the end. I hope you got as many good tips out of that conversation as I did. Thank you to my good buddy Lauren for coming over to spill the tea on how to kick that clutter. From myself to yourself, thank you for joining me on this journey.